Lisa, Andy, these tips are fantastic, but honestly, as a job seeker, I'd love some quick tips to help me best create my various lists, ideas, suggestions. Lisa Day, here you go. So if you are a job seeker, my view is you will run a much more effective job search if you do a little bit of each activity each day. I'll be real specific here, and you have a balance of dynamic activities. So let me be real clear for your job seekers, because this is a fantastic productivity lesson for job seekers. And Lisa, by the way, I don't want to forget to tell you, I literally have a video on that just was released in the last couple of weeks on how to increase your job search productivity. Now, there are certain things that you do that are static, like your LinkedIn profile, your resume. Those are generally static. Okay, you might massage them for keywords or whatever as you're going into applying or boss hunting or recruiter hunting or whatever you're doing. A lot of the static stuff is done. You set your time up, you think about your direction, you think about where you want to go, you put some base cover letters together, you put your LinkedIn profile, you put your resume together, and so on. Static, right? It's generally done. The dynamic interactions and activities are what require you to make sure that your time is balanced. The best way to run your job search is based on daily quotas. That's the challenge that you're familiar with that I've offered you, where I say identify 3 companies a day, 3 individuals, 1 at each organization, or some individuals that can get you to somebody at those organizations, and send 3 targeted email messages to each of those people. That's 15 a week. So when I look at production, I look at the whole week and I say, that's 15 messages that I want to send out. And I know if I do that, that I'll be in order. Okay. And so, okay, now it's Friday, Saturday, or Sunday the week before. Before we hit Monday morning hits, I want my time planned that generally says, without knowing what's going to happen this week, I want to make sure that I hit my quotas each day, because Coach Andy, who I have the utmost faith in and trust, says if I do this and I'm consistent and I'm sending out the right stuff to the right people, I'm going to find my jobs faster. So first thing I would do is I'd say, okay, I'm going to roll out of bed in between 7 and 8 or 8 and 9 or whenever that is for you. I'm going to target my 3 people right out of the gate. By 9 o'clock, those 3 emails should be set. Because why? Because the afternoon, the day before, you knew who you were going to send them to, what you were going to say, and all you needed to do was roll out of bed, take your shower, do your yoga class or whatever it is, and then boom, hit it, and go. You're done. Now, I've attained my quota for the day. The rest of the day are activities that are planned for the next day. So the next day, so now I got between 9 o'clock and let's say 11:30 or noon. You got, say, 2-3 hours. How are you going to allocate your time? Well, remember, you want to allocate your time based on your goal. Your goal is not to find a job. That's the overwhelming trying to eat the elephant in one bite thing. What did we just get done talking about? Breaking it down into pieces. What are the pieces? The pieces are, I got to make sure I have the 3 target companies. The pieces are, I have to find the individuals. The pieces are, I have to craft the messages to those individuals. All right. Do you want to spend 9 to 10 researching companies and making sure that you have 3 that you really like? Stop at 10 o'clock, take a break. 10:10, start again. Now what? Search for the people. Find the people by 11? Great. If not, keep going. Take a break, eat lunch, whatever. And so everything is designed for what I'm going to do the next morning so that I start out with a victory, right? And that kind of stuff. And so I would balance every single day. I would look for companies. Every single day I would look for people to network with. And then what's going to happen? You might make some phone calls. You might send some emails. And then guess what? You might have a variable activity of getting together with them for coffee or a meeting or an informational interview, or you might get an interview. Okay, then when is the interview? All right, it's Friday at 2. Bang, that goes on the calendar, right? Kind of thing. But you still have your quotas in order. So I'm constantly looking at what activities should I be performing. So when I go back to the package and I say, it's not just about making lists, it's about making sure the right activities are on the list. And tomorrow you're going to learn how to allocate your time on your calendar so that you're putting the high value activities in the right spots based on a number of factors. My focal point as an executive recruiter was, if I start by making these cold calls between 8:30 and 9:30 and I make X number of them every single day, I know that's going to yield X number of clients over the course of the month. If I spend 9:30 to 11:30 calling candidates or whatever, I know that's going to yield X number of and so I'm thinking about just the activity I'm doing, but it's the right activity that goes on the list, and then it's executing it. And it's not having your browser open unless you need it, and it's not having social media alerts on, and it's not letting people interrupt you. That kind of stuff. And I think tomorrow you're gonna see a lot more about how to take from the lists and allocate it to the day. And then on Wednesday, the next session, we're going to talk about how you run that day. Lisa, that's a great question. I would check out that video. I do want to do a time check because in the spirit of productivity, I need to end this right at 1 o'clock. So if you enjoyed this, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, share it. I hope y'all enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed bringing this to you. Happy New Year. We'll see you tomorrow.